Ladies and gentlemen, can you be all upstanding for a minute's silence? Thank you. Thank you.
And we're back for game number 2 of the day of this doubleheader at North Hobart Oval. We've seen the Warriors and Knights. Now it's time for South Hobart and the Hobart Zebras. Another big game in the title race. This one, they played out a 1-1 draw early in the season at Darcy Street. Let's see how the two squads fare today. A big occasion. The Zebras just downing Devonport on Monday, but that also means they're slightly less rested heading into this one. And we might take a quick look at the teams before play resumes. Of course, with the sprint, we had a slightly quicker turnaround between the games, and there is the Zebras lineup. No real surprises there to speak of. Riley Dillon will play at left back. Henry Fagg, he's still in place of the injured Jan Harutzer, only fit enough for the bench. He'll play in the middle with Thomas Little. You've got Nicky Edwards in really good form. Jordan Muller will play in the middle of the park. Payson Sanders up top. Walsh, the other fullback. Ryu Yonezawa, I expect to see in midfield, has been one of the players of the season. Sammy Watman, the big Kiwi, in goals. On the bench, Ackley. Not sure how fit Harutzer is. Not fit enough to start, that's for sure. McEwen, Reid, and the clock tower, Big Ben Robinson. The options on the pine. So McEwen, a handy goal scoring option there. Ackley, a bit of pace and defensive replacements if they need them. Moving on to this South Hobart team, Kieran Brown will play in net. Gilly De Souza, you'd imagine, will be with Loic Farrell and Nick Morton in the midfield. Adam Gorry, the right wing back. Ben Hamlet in some reasonable form, you'd expect to lead the line there today. Indeed, it's going to be a toss one, I think, by South Hobart there. Anyway, going through the rest of the team, Tobias Havonen probably at fullback, Hugh Ludford at centre half, Oscar Thomas the other centre back in there, Iski Van Dorn, you'd imagine, bobs up out wide, and Alex Walter on the opposite flank. Youth on the bench with Berezanski, and Laka Seljac scored in the competition named after his family the other day. Jack Bowman, Casper Hallam scored a goal in that game against Hobart United, and Graham Wright, the backup keeper. Paul Hunt, you're going to be the first 20 minutes or so. What are you expecting from this one?
Yeah, as we watch the teams change ends, two sides, Zebras breaking Devonport's undefeated run and continuing their own, as Jan Harutzer, while he was in no way suited up the other week due to injury, he certainly is down here on the sideline. I do think South Hobart, they do rise to a big occasion. We see that plenty at Darcy Street, and we may see it here as well, as these two sides played out an enthralling contest here last season. I'm expecting the same. If I stick my neck out on the line, I may just lean towards South Hobart as Hamlet gets us underway. Spraying the pass out towards Walter. Dwayne Pipe gets his first touch. Always appreciative of someone with loud wheels on the far sideline from the view from here. I do think South Hobart will just shade this one.
I think they probably deserved to head in as slight favourites, but there wasn't a whole lot between the two teams at Darcy Street. And the Zebras more experienced playing on this North Hobart venue as Nick Morton thrusts them forward. Alex Walter giving chase. Heavy touch though. He looked to get in behind the lines there. South Hobart's number 10 lining up on the left. And he and Van Dorn flanking Ben Hamlet, who will lead the line. And Morton to Sousa Farrell, the midfield three, so pretty much as expected. this South Hobart side. Surprises. Like Yonezawa maybe slotted back into a defensive role for the Zebras again today.
Probably needed just to do with the sheer pace that South Hobart have got up in front with Hamlet, Walter and Van Dorn. They'll be buzzing around the front three for South. Yonezawa, he seems to be almost at right centre back.
Yeah, it's a back five for sure, and he's playing the right side. And he's involved here with a lofted ball over the top, which Kieran Brown will collect. So looks like he'll be part of a back three. And then you've got Riley Dillon and Dwayne Walsh as pretty attacking fullbacks. So they've switched to that one, and this one's chipped over the top. Nick Morton looking to run in behind and get on the end of it. He tried to work it off a fact for the corner, gets the better of him in the end. Coming into support. And see it behind for the corner was Geordie Muller. And Nick Morton will quickly take it to Adam Gorry. They've caught them napping. No one paying attention from the Zebras, and Gorry curls it into the back stick. Away by Watman, palming it aside. Gilly de Souza, the Brazilian. Squares it back to Toby Havainen. Back to de Souza. The Brazilian bending this one to Hamlet. Tried to flick it through for Havainen, but again, just a little bit too heavy. And out for a goal kick.
As we see Watman taking the goal kick. Zebras looking fantastic as always in their Anzac Day kit. With the poppies coming across the shirt. Do not mind this one at all. South Hobart as well, a very suitable side to be playing on Anzac Day. One of the few clubs in Australia to send players to both World War I and World War II, such as their heritage. As Yonezawa clears that one. Lacking a ball kid on that far side as well, which was a real feature of that first half.
A couple of fluoro vests striding around that way now, I can spot. Just a bit of coverage on that far touchline. Such a wide expanse as, of course, the traditional AFL venue here at North Hobart. Bigger pitch as South Hobart attacking through Van Dorn and Hamlet. Nisky Van Dorn from the ground, soldiering on. Alex Walter now trying to skip free. Cross to de Souza. De Souza bends his foot round it. Floats out the back. Riley Dillon cleared it only so far as Gorry. Back to Van Dorn. Couldn't get past Riley Dillon, who threads it through to Jaden Hay. But in some good form, Jaden Hay. Really starting to click into gear, and he might take them on here. Still going, Jaden Hay. Charging down, trying to get in behind the lines. But Loic Farrell, the wily Frenchman, was just taking away his angle. Did pretty well there, the Frenchman.
Tracking his runner the whole way, Loic Farrell. Hey, sort of running down a blind alley there towards the end. Didn't have a whole lot of teammates in support. It was Walsh. Looks for options, goes in short to Muller. Battling away is Morton. It's another throw in for the Zebras. Colonel Sanders playing right up top, as always for the Zebras, as Walter gets in. Morton laying a ball down the channel for Hamlet to chase. Bodies up with Little. Tommy Little. Well, he does exceptionally well there. Does Little. Wanted to win it in. Ben Hamlet just doing what he does best.
Good result in the end for Hamlet. Throw in an advanced position. Toby Havainen will take it. Next ball to the target. Turn onto the right and just sit back to Farrell. Havainen. Walter. Souza. Checks back inside, but the numbers were there. Nicky Edwards helping out. Rather ungainly there from Yonezawa. Flicked forward by de Souza, and then Yonezawa more decisively this time, thwacking that one out. Matty Sanders. One out off of him. Throw in South Hobart's way. Still a beautiful day here at North Hobart. Anzac Day. Great conditions for football. Tommy Little steps in. Turned it over. Straight to Havainen, to de Souza. One back by Walsh. Split the way of the Brazilian once more. Flicked in behind for Alex Walter. And see the flag go up, but the code spotted something.
certainly couldn't have been offside as the AR. Well, it could have been, but the AR didn't put his flag up. Rare you see the middle referee.
I think he has called it though there, Nathan Coe. He said, no, you're wrong, AR. I'm backing my own judgment in. So
interesting angle to try and adjudge an offside there from.
Yeah, so he had a look at his AR, said, no flag, all right, we're going to blow it anyway. Unless there was something off the ball that we've not spotted completely, but interesting one as Yonezawa steps in, worked it to Muller. Walsh. Nick Morton wins it back for South. Pursued by Edwards. He infringes upon him.
As South take it quickly, Havinen. South have looked a lot more composed at the back the last few weeks after trying three at the back and playing three centre backs. They've put Gorry and Havinen in their natural positions and now just got strong competition at the centre back position. Ludford getting the start today as Hamlet. High boot surely from Jaden Hay. Not quite Nigel de Jong-esque, but it was pretty high and towards the chest there from the Zebras number 10.
Or even Vandermeer-esque if we're going back again. Well, that drew a booking somehow.
Was Morton stand over this one. Chips it towards Oscar Thomas. It goes over everyone's head. Walsh clearly got a shout and left it. Calls for a penalty. Strong no from the referee and a goal kick given. Body on body. We've got a player in our way, but I highly doubt there was enough in that.
No. Can't be dishing out spot kicks for that one. To be fair to Vane, I don't think he even put his hand up asking for it. A few of the crowd perhaps expecting it as Watman clears this under pressure from Ben Hamlet. Flicked on by Sanders. Walsh punches that one straight to the giraffe. Thomas away. Now Nicky Edwards, who's assumed the role that Isky Van Dorn had last year, now lining up against his former side. It's the Canadian. Sure they'll have any plans and ideas with how to deal with a man who spent the entirety of last year on their list. The flag's going up again.
Was offside that time. Was Toby Havinen. It's the one thing we do have the advantage of up here in the media box. Not bad for offside calls. Yonezawa plays it back to Watman, who's been really impressive this season, but not so much with that clearance. Falls to Hamlet. Wrapped his boot around it to Walter. Gets the return ball. Morton striding forward. Wanted the handball off Little. Morton still going. Into the box to Sousa. It's the crossbar. Gilly to Sousa pushing forward from midfield and just couldn't quite keep it down.
Glorious opportunity that one for Gilly de Sousa. Needs to be hitting the target there. Some great work from Nick Morton in the build-up. He started this game very impressively, the Morthog. Bit of swagger about him today. And he's looming as a key figure. Forged the chance, which the Brazilian really should have done better from. Blazing over the middle of the box. So, nearly shot across the bows of the Zebras. How will they respond here? Gorry takes it away from Stone Cold Riley Dillon. They'll take the throw in, short for Sanders, back to Dillon. Immediately won back by Van Dorn. Isky Van Dorn looking to play a 1-2 with Hamlet, but just played it back in behind of the Calgary Flyer. Dillon. Centrally for Jaden Hay, just led him into the path of the ball nicely. Didn't conjure anything from it though, and outside of the boot, De Sousa might have unlocked them here. A foot race between Walter and Watman. Watman just took a couple of strides with those long Kiwi levers of his. Cleared it away.
Took a couple of steps back initially, did Watman, and then realised, I think, with the wind and the pace on it was going to come to him first, and then, as you say, with that reach, only takes a couple steps for him to come towards the ball as Geordie Muller looks up and doesn't have anyone on that side of the pitch. Lays it short to Hay. Now Edwards. Edwards surely pushing the back by Morton there, right in front of the referee. Edwards, who's looked more and more settled in this Zebras line up the last few weeks. Ball down the sideline Walsh. I think he quite saw that one in the sun, to be honest, if Walter gets on this one. Battling away and does use all of the pitch to turn away. It's Morton. Iski Van Door's in a pocket of space here. Aims to pick him out. Unfortunately falls to Watman. Van Dorn, we saw him lightning pace burst onto the NPL Tas scene here last year in round 1 for the Zebras. And he's got into a good pocket of space there again.
The same two teams were going at each other on that night. Probably the most entertaining game of the season. I think it ended 5-3. It had absolutely everything that season opened between South and the Zebras on this venue. And he's hoping for a similarly entertaining kind of a contest in this one. A bright start. Plenty of attacking intent being shown early on. Have a look at the slightly late foul there by Benjamin Hamlet. And the opposite number, Henry Fagg, deputising for the Czech centre half, Jan Horutza today. Here's Ryu Yonezawa, been really impressive this season. The line for pace, made him work for it. Numbers will win out here for South. Experience of Hugh Ludford there. Veteran centre half playing alongside Thomas. Back into the team. Down the line they go. Walter the target. Away from him. Yonezawa down to Walsh. Volleyed out of play. As Paul Hunt's going to say his farewells for the day. He's clocking off early. Not bad, champ. Love your work, Paul. So, 80 minutes still to go in this one. A little bit of this in game 1, just the lulls in play at times caused by taking a little while for the ball to get back in play, and both teams were quite happy to take a bit of a breather playing on this big pitch. A larger surface than you're used to seeing as Thomas steers this one away. Yonezawa. Vainen to Walsh. To get around the outside and was just checked in doing so, wins the free kick. Takes a fair bit to knock the Dwayne pipe off balance. Farrell hobbling away. So Nicky Edwards and Riley Dillon standing over this one. Riley Dillon usually the set piece specialist in this Zebras outfit. And he'll bend this one in. And Tommy Little gets to it. He volleyed it goal. Didn't get much behind it though. A comfortable save for Kieran Brown. And quick release to Nick Morton. Skips free in the midfield and then gets clipped rather cynically there by stone cold Riley Dillon. It'll be just a ticking off. Booking the next time. This is one morning as Morton springs this one out to Havainen. Lofted forward again. Tommy Little crunching into Hamlet who hit the deck. Adam Gorry. Darcy Street's favourite ranger here on the ball. Such a key part of South Hobart's offensive play. They love to free up space on this right wing for Adam Gorry to charge into, and this is a venue where he can be particularly devastating. We've seen that in the past. Away by Fagg, down to Mueller. Picked up by Hamlet, tries to throw it through. Yonezawa read that. Now Muller again. Jordan Muller to Matty Sanders, just strikes that one out in front of Walsh. Full pass from Walsh, couldn't find Hay. Young Havainen didn't have much luck getting in behind either. Yonezawa. Mr. Watman steers that one in the Edwards direction. Jaden Hay. Some tidy work in midfield and then looks to spring pace. Straight to Oscar Thomas though. Walter holds it down. Walsh. Throw in off Farrell. So a quarter of an hour ticked by here. 0-0 the score at North Hobart Oval. Second game of today's doubleheader. The Olympia Warriors leading the Glenorchy Knights 3-1 the earlier battle as De Souza sets this one out in front of Iski Van Dorn, who's going to arrive before Henry Fagg. And just showed a little bit too much of it to him, allowing experienced defender to step in. Here's Morton. Back to Gorry. Now Farrell. Gorry squares it up to Toby Havainen. Next to with a little bit of room to operate in. Tried to pick out the run of De Souza, just overhit his pass though. Easy pickings there for the Kiwi, Sammy Watman. Watman launching this one. Havainen into touch. Walsh long for Sanders. Look to walk the touchline here. Back to Dwayne Walsh, curls it in, can't find pace. South defence scurry it clear. Muller stabs one up towards Dillon. Getting in there was Gorry. Muller again. Dillon bouncing off Van Dorn, then finding the ever reliable Jordan Muller. A real midfield maestro in this Zebras team, the real crucial man in the engine room. Here's Dillon. Spends so much time in the attacking third as the Zebras fullback. And that's not why. Generally comes up with slightly better delivery than that, Riley Dillon. Caught out of position a little bit at times. A little bit overzealous in getting forward this year, Riley Dillon, but such a weapon for them. He gets in behind. Here's Yonezawa. Took that down tidily, couldn't find Sanders. Spills for De Souza, slightly lazy, just whack at that one. Probably had time to take a touch and get something a little bit more meaningful forward. Riley Dillon does well to steal 10 yards and then lob one over the top for Pace. He's got goal side here, Matthew Pace. The South defence closed in on him, then Edwards, tame looking shot, but deflects off a Ludford behind for a corner. Zebras trying to make something happen in attack here. Nicky Edwards. Some of the goalkeepers in the early game struggling a little bit from corners with in-swingers into the penalty area. It's a bit of a swirling breeze out there, and this one will go to the back post, and the keeper's been caught out, and it's Matthew Sanders who heads home. The Colonel hits the back of the nets, and after 19 minutes from one of their very first chances, it's the Hobart Zebras who take the lead. The corner to the back post from Edwards. And just waiting for it there was Sanders. Just landed on him and he profits. The Colonel has the hosts off and running here at North Hobart. He scored a few at this venue. And again he bobs up at the back post. So he tends to situate himself for these corners, the Colonel. And it's where he does his best work. I think that's goal number 14 on the season for Sanders. He's been prolific and he gets them off and running here. Despite South Hobart probably shading the opening 20 minutes. It is the Hobart Zebras with the lead. A goal to nil. South, after a bright start, now find themselves chasing the game. Muller. Back to Little. Breaking ball, flicked on. Free kick blown before Edwards can run onto it. This one's chipped back to Kieran Brown. So another in-swinging corner there. Bringing a goalkeeper undone today. Van Dorn under pressure from Dillon and fouled in fact by Dillon. Yeah, the obvious call, that one, under the watchful eye of the referee Nathan Coe. Like Stratos Plomaritis, our fourth official on this one. It's Morton. He's got his foot on the ball plenty nearly going here. Particularly good pass on that occasion though, straight to Walsh, headed it forward for Pace. Matty Pace. Back to Dwayne Walsh. Hay stretches. Worked it to Edwards, got it to Muller. To chip it in behind for a bursting run. Now Tommy Little with an up and under. Coming back from an offside position was Nicky Edwards, so he can't make a play on it. Walter. Back heel for Havainen. He goes forward for Ben Hamlet, presenting up at it, brought it down. Wayne Morton worked for it with the pass. Muller slid in late there. Nasty one there, and it's going to be a slice of cheese too for Geordie Muller. So he walks the tightrope early on. To the book goes in midfielder for the Zebras. Ludford first to Farrell, and then he left that short for Morton. It'll work out all right. Fell out the back for Risky Van Dorn, and Gorry's got some room. Although sold short by Hamlet, Gorry's still able to get there. Bends it with the left. Dangerous ball on the back post. Great stretching defence from Dwayne Walsh. Here's Morton again. Dangerous cross across the face. No one could tuck it home. A teasing ball there from the Morthog after some great defence initially from Dwayne Walsh. And tucked behind for another corner. It's South Hobart looking to respond to going a goal down here. Adam Gorry played a dangerous looking cross in. Morton again has loomed large over this contest through the opening quarter of it. Stands this one up deep. Walter the target. Walter got the head to it, but not the direction he was looking for on that occasion. Stood that one up into the breeze. Walter had a lot of pace to work with on it, to be fair to him. So long from Sammy Watman. Havainen to Morton in the bullseye. Back to Loic Farrell. And fullbacks continued his run. It's a throw in as Yamazawa slides in to put that one into touch. Majestically placed kit room van there. Always picks the vantage point. There's Ken Morton there with the kit room placement. Knows where to park the van to get on TV. Jaden Hay beaten to it by Hamlet. Clever ball to Walter. Alex Walter, they're lining up in the middle here. Morton under pressure from Little. He goes down. And I think just must have realised he was offside there, Alex Walter, so didn't bother to go for the ball. Still says you can have a throw in instead. Walsh. Down by Farrell. Morton nips it back in towards the turning Hamlet. Little takes it out from under his feet. Hamlet back on it. Manufactures a shot somehow. But an ill-directed one on that occasion from Ben 10. Well to get it out from underneath his feet, but pretty tough chance on that occasion for the South Hobart striker. Something, if anything, that's been lacking from this South team is a 20-goal-a-season striker in recent times. Jack Turner really become that man. Had an out-and-out centre forward who bank 20 goals a season type from. Now hoping Hamlet can be a type of contributor this season now that he's fully fit. So Slazinski absolutely decimated by injuries. Really had it tough on the comeback trail this year to have the influence he had before those really 2 to 3 years. He's just had a torrid time of it, Lazinski. And what the man leading the line today. Spills out for Muller. Here's Walsh. Won't track that one. Just got away from him. Sun beaming out here. Anzac Day for football. There's Morton, Havana and Walter eventually cough it up. Jaden Hay just showed that one to the opposition. Back to Fag. Now Tommy Little. The pressure from Hamlet, so just retreats back to Sammy Watman. Fortuitous pass in the end. Edwards made it work and then volleyed it back over his head. Walsh trying to find pace, can't connect with him, and now just straying a little bit was Yonezawa and left a little bit of room in behind for Alex Walter. He stands it up to the back post. Disky Van Dorn nods it back across the face. Riley Dillon is there to clean up though. Dangerous looking move. Dorn wouldn't quite bend it back enough there. South on the front foot here and have the more likely team to score despite the fact they're trailing in this game. DeSouza with their best chance so far is Van Dorn. Rolls it for Hamlet. Back to Loic Farrell. Toby Havanen. Alex Walter wants to shift onto the right foot. Eventually works it to Gorry. Adam Gorry chipping it up. Dangerous looking ball away by Yonezawa. Morton will try and track this one down. He's going to run out of play before he can do so. DeSouza turning, shielding it from Muller. Ending one to the top of the box, out in front of Riley Dillon, volleyed away. Flicked on by Pace. In trouble at the back for the Giraffe there, Oscar Thomas. Enjoyed his duels with Matthew Sanders when they've been opposed to each other over the past couple of seasons. Well, again, over the head of Van Dorn. Muller stoops to work it to Dillon, lofted forward onto the head of Thomas. His header found Morton under pressure from Muller. Riley Dillon tracking back was Gorry. Didn't win it away though. Matthew Pace won't be able to take it as a foul blown there on Nicky Edwards. Anything, I thought he was the one who got fouled looking at the replay. Seemed to cop one in the face. If anything, I thought. It's DeSouza. Across to Gorry. Several players make runs in behind. It's a good ball too for Nick Morton. He track it down, he bends it back. No one in the middle there he could find. Skied away, South threatening again as we approach the half-hour mark of this game. Adam Gorry to throw in. And Morton, likely target. Away goes Riley Dillon. Pace surrounded by South Hobart defenders, had 4 of them to compete against. That's going to make it tough. It's Jaden Hay back to Muller. Walter off balance. And a free kick going South's way. Well, continues to take it quick, but in the end he'll defer for the Morthog Morton instead. So Nick Morton really gets under that real lob wedge, and Watman uses the full extent of his height and grabs it out of the air. Really gone underneath that one, Nick Morton. Would have been watching the earlier game and sense the uncertainty from the goalkeepers in the wind. Watman absolutely belting this one, which suggests that the winds switch around a little bit. Certainly wouldn't have smashed it that far in earlier conditions. Here's Havanen. Hooked it to the Morthog. Back to Adam Gorry. Just has to wait for it and then awkward little left-footed volley over the top, made Isky Van Dorn work, and he'll get the throw in. Riley Dillon not agreeing, but they take it quickly. Hamlet the target, looks to turn inside. Jaden Hay back to help out his defence. Tommy Little couldn't skip around the Brazilian DeSouza, and they might be exposed here. Morton It was slightly overhit, but he'll just get there in time. Morton, can he find Walker at the back post? It's 1-1. South Hobart back on terms here. Alex Walker tapping home. But that goal was all about Nick Morton. Put it on a platter for his winger there. And 1-1 the score. Probably a deserved goal in truth for South Hobart. They have been in the ascendancy for much of the half. Now 1-1 the score. We have another look. Morton just laying it back across the face. Takes the keeper out of the picture. And Alex Walter just had to follow in. It's that wonderful 1998 style graphic. Just going up on the scoreboard again here every time there's a goal. Thoroughly enjoying that stuff. So, 1-1. And the Zebras, after scoring from their only real look, Matty Sanders, have seen their lead overhauled. And that snapped them back into life. South have been pretty good value so far in this match. They've looked pretty sharp. Iski Van Dorn has been heavily involved, and he's running the defence again, and he spies Walter in an acre of space, but he underhit the pass to him. On a smaller pitch, that might have been all right, but just need a little bit more mustard. In and out to Alex Walter. And he had a run of the left wing to himself, really. Avainen. Away by Yonezawa. Sanders stretches and then volleyed it forward. Pace hadn't made that bursting run though. He presented short instead. Adam Gorry. Look up and just play the direct ball over the top again. Little run through to Watman. Yonezawa. Punching it forward for pace. Heavy touch. Avainen to Morton. To DeSouza. Hamlet beaten out by the Japanese defender. Free kick blown by Nathan Code. Here's Henry Fagg. Forward for pace. Tried the flick on. Flicked it onto Gorry. Again, pretty direct stuff from South. Over the top, Hamlet trying to nod it into the path of Van Dorn. Competed well. Then Hamlet came storming through, but the whistle had blown. Look for this. The work from Iski Van Dorn. Bundling over Tommy Little. That's what the whistle had gone for. Hamlet trying to sneak in behind. Terry Watman. Long to Thomas. Now Riley Dillon. I think pace is off here. He knows he's off, in fact. Doesn't even bother playing at that one. And a bit of a wrestling match on the line. So Thomas gets the decision. So here is Nick Morton, punches it down the line. The overlapping run coming from Gorry. Walter, well initially, then couldn't quite pick him out. Yonezawa, pretty good in the defensive duels he's fought so far today. Seems to be winning a fairly high percentage of them. Sanders, surrounded by red shirts. Then Muller came charging through, just put his foot through it. Morton took it away from Edwards. Now Havainen finds the Brazilian Lee DeSouza. Looks up, rakes it into the area. Walter the target. Easy one for Henry Fagg though. Don't know if, well, I thought he saw a player down on the ground somewhere, just like he was kicking into touch, but no one on the deck. So South Hobart with the throw in. Adam Gorry works it to Hamlet. He's got Van Dorn in support. Turns centrally instead. It's Ben Hamlet! Oh, what a solo goal from Benjamin Hamlet. Hammer time here at North Hobart Oval. It's 2-1. And a fine piece of work in the penalty area there from Ben Hamlet. He just wriggled free of his defender and fired it past the keeper. And South have turned a 1-goal deficit into a 2-1 lead in pretty short time here. There's the graphic that we've been enjoying so much all day. And it's 2-1 as we have a look. Sharp stuff this. Just shrugging the attentions of Fag, beats him and then spies the gap between Tommy Little and the keeper. Little just committed to the shot block. There was a fair gap there for him to sneak that one in. Hamlet says thank you very much. A very nice goal, that one from Hamlet. And South, well, it's been a fair response from them. And it's been a pretty good 36 minutes of football in truth. Bit of a smash and grab type almost from the Zebras. And a heap of attacking in this one. Scored from one of their very few chances. South and claim the lead here. So South on the offensive again. Hamlet blocked off on this occasion. Van Dorn comes in to lead to Sousa. They're really dialing up the pressure at the minute, South, turning the screws on the home side. Morton tries to skip free. One back by Tommy Little, but the free kick had been blown in favour of the Morthog. Another set piece in a dangerous position, this. Is what the foul blown for there. No arguments from Little. Putting on a show, big occasion. He is a man for the big occasion, Nick Morton. That's the big games. He's been good in this one so far. Adam Gorry left with the set piece duties on this occasion, though. It's Gorry. Goes to the back post to Sousa. Put up powerfully, but not quite direct. The header. A threat to Sammy Ortman there. Seven minutes plus change remaining here in the first half. Third and fourth on the table. Of course, Olympia have temporarily at least jumped into top spot ahead of Devonport's game with City on Saturday. Morton worked that very, very smartly to Van Dorn. Van Dorn holding off the attentions of Hay. Still going, Iski Van Dorn. Still going, Van Dorn. Then Morton stinging the palms of Watman. Straight at the keeper in the end, either side, and he might have been in a little bit of trouble. But strong hands. Iski Van Dorn just couldn't be stopped, and then Little lets that one get away from him. Watman in the head of Hamlet. Helps that one the length. You see how quick South Hobart are to take their throw-ins. They want the ball back in play. They want to keep this pressure on the Zebras. They know they've got them really under the pump at the moment. Keen to really force the issue. Walter lays off for Loic Farrell. Chipped it forward. Hamlet will give chase. Keeper didn't come out for it. Little should tidy this up. Hamlet again charging it down. His work rate. First rate as ever in attack, Ben Hamlet. Doesn't stop running, harassing, carrying defenders, and as we saw, when the ball does get to his feet, he's got goals in him too. Mudford wins that one in the air. Morton. They walk the tightrope over the touchline. Havainen tried to take it around Yonezawa. Intelligent defender, wasn't having a bar of it. That's a good ball for Edwards. Look, Farrell just worked him over it. And he definitely fouled, but probably a good foul to concede. To prevent a promising counter-attack breaking out. It's the type of stuff that Loic Farrell really excels at, just breaking up the play, doing the dirty work in midfield. Classic screening midfielder, Loic Farrell. Quick free kick. Was able to find Jaden Hay, but then just into a wall of red there. Nick Morton bends his foot round it. Tommy Little heads back to Morton. Iski Van Dorn left it behind. Riley Dillon, two teammates scrapping away. They eventually got it out to Gorry. Muller. Now a South Hobart throw in. Final 5 minutes of the first half. Adam Gorry. Plenty of time on the ball, and he switches things up to Toby Havainen. Might have showed a bit too much of this to Jordan Muller. He just comes across and belts that one just about out of the venue. Over the dip there, made sure of that clearance. Here's Walter. Squares that one. Allowed to run into the 6-yard box. There was Henry Fagg standing back there to deal with it. Dangerous ball to let run, mind you. Two teams started today, equal on 16 points. Different methods of game there. South Hobart 5-1 and 2. The Zebras still the only undefeated team in the league with 4 wins and 4 draws through the opening round of games. South Hobart winning by a slightly superior goal difference. Pretty tight at the top. It's a big 3 points on offer today. And Nicky Edwards looking to skip into some space in the penalty area. Couldn't find it. Havainen. Jaden Hay looking to get him behind. He swings in the cross. Should be comfortably collected by Kieran Brown. Quick release to the Canadian. Iski Van Dorn dropped it off for De Souza. Henry Fagg decisively reading that one though. The centre half running up and smashing it away. Morton. Hamlet not a natural target in the air, but competed really well against Tommy Little. Now De Souza will give chase. Yonazawa wraps his boot round it. Good chest mark taken down there on the wing by Stratos. Here's Gorry. De Souza, impressive so far. Looks this one forward. Steered away by Yonazawas. He kept the Zebras' defence tied together in this first half. He's been the best out of the defensive unit. Brown put under some pressure there, forces the turnover. Sanders able to profit from the situation. Here's Dillon. Slams it forward. The Giraffe stretches. Now Riley Dillon just sneaks in between of Van Dorn and Gorry. Clever from Riley Dillon. Has he got a target in the box? He does. It's Jaden Hay. Nick Morton did just enough to put him off the volley at the back stick. Dillon just stood this one up for his number 10. Given a chance to volley it, and Morton with a little touch of the salad there, just doing enough to flick it away from Hay. And he's been in impressive form over the last couple of games for the Zebras, really rounding into some nice touch for mine, Jaden Hay. His best couple of weeks of the season, as this one's bent into the middle of the box, headed goalward, repelled away, falls for Morton. And South will look to break the counter-attack. He's got Van Dorn ahead of him. That's where he heads. Yonazawa, I reckon he's won the throw-in too, has he? No. Arguing the case. Unsuccessfully. I think he managed to play that into a South Hobart player. He not shared by the linesman. Jaden Hay wins it back. The Zebras flowing forward and attacking it out through pace. Couldn't get around Loic Farrell though. Feral TV just doing his thing in the midfield. It's a great disruptor in there. Tick towards half-time. I think there'll be too many minutes added despite the 3 goals. Here's Walsh. They'll let run. Riley Dillon throws his hands up in frustration. And his hands full with Adam Gorry and Iski Van Dorn. Van Dorn is just temporarily switch sides here with Walter. Long ball up again. Hamlet cast in the role of target man. Again, competed pretty well despite his stature. This one falls out in front of De Souza. Bends it. It's over the head of Walsh. That's a great ball to Iski Van Dorn. Can he get onto his right? He goes with the left. He scores. It's Iski Van Dorn. The Canadian makes it 3-1 with a thunderous hit. And South Hobart, well, they've had some troubles in front of goal this year. Not so today. They are turning it on in attack. Van Dorn with the finish. How about the ball from Gilly De Souza, though? Took him out. Walsh did the right thing, shielded him, said, I'm not letting you get back on the right. The Canadian says, well, have a look at my left then. And beats Sammy Watman for power there. Maybe one that the keeper needs to be doing a little bit better on. No goalkeeper likes being beaten at his near post. But Iski Van Dorn, who I reckon's had his best 45 minutes in a South Hobart shirt, has just added a big exclamation point, and it's going to make it really hard for the Zebras to chase the game in the second half now. That just changes the entire complexion of the halftime team talk. One goal, it's one thing to try and rein in. They've got a bit of a mountain to climb now. Iski Van Dorn for South Hobart. They're clicking nicely into gear. And Nick Morton flowing forwards, bossing this contest. Chips it up over the top. Hamilton make the run. Van Dorn pressuring Fag. Flicked on well by Sanders. Ludford slightly misdirects the clearance. Fair purchase on it. Quickly work to Edwards so he can take the throw in to Pace. Can the Zebras strike back before the half here? It's Matthew Pace. Nicky Edwards. Back to Pace. Couldn't get past to Sousa. Had a great half, the Brazilian. Now Walsh. Powerful as ever, storming at the South Hobart defence, then punches one in, but these attackers had run away from him. Tommy Little. Geordie Muller. Back to Henry Fagg. Riley Dillon. Chasing, sliding in was Gorry. I'd argue he got the ball, but he got a fair bit of Riley Dillon too, so a free kick in a good spot here for the Zebras to try and cut this margin before the break. Matthew Sanders ordered them into the lead. Since then, in fact, no free kick was given. So it's just going to be a long throw from Jaden Hay instead. And he heaves it. Flicked on. Sanders is there. Coming through was the Giraffe. Now Nicky Edwards. Shifts back. Headed by Fag. Hamlet in there. Falls for Jaden Hay. Not cleared by Gorry. Van Dorn working back. Will clear the area. Walsh blocks that off before DeSouza could run in behind, and that might just about be that for a breathless first 45 minutes. The curse of Jono has been cast off here at North Hobart. Don't you worry about that. That's a cracking first 45 of football, and South Hobart really responded superbly to going down in this game. They found themselves trailing after Matthew Sanders put them ahead on 19 minutes, but Alex Walter got them back on terms on the half-hour mark, and from there, Ben Hamlet and Iski Van Dorn added to it, and South Hobart leading this one 3-1 at the break, and looking pretty good value for that lead. We'll have a look at the highlights from the half. There was goal number one, the keeper coming out, not getting it, and Matty Sanders able to nod home at the back stick. Things were looking pretty good for the Zebras at that point. South had made a good start, but wasn't to be. And then South Hobart worked their way back into the game. Here's Nick Morton bending one back across the face. He would set up Alex Walter moments later with this one. And Walter prods home to make it 1-1 at that stage. And Hamlet, great solo goal shortly thereafter too. Sam Gorey played it in, and he just beat Henry Fagg. All ends up here, and Tommy Little just left too much of a hole in between him and the keeper. And then Hamlet went right through. Boy, did he enjoy it, hammer time. Classy goal. And how's this ball from Gilly DeSouza? Just takes Dwayne Walsh out of the picture. Walsh keeps him on the left foot. And the keeper just collapses down. And that just gives the slight window up top for the Canadian, who takes full advantage. And it's South Hobart leading Hobart Zebras 3-1, half-time here at North Hobart. We'll be back in around about 10 minutes' time with the second half, and if it's anything like the first, you're not going to want to miss it.
holding you up?
spectators please leave the field of play? Thank you. Zebras. Coming off, number 6, Jordan Muller. Coming on, number 5, Jan Jerusa. Coming off, number 9, Dwayne Walsh. Coming on, number 8, Ben Robinson. Substitution for South Hobart. Coming off, number 14, Gilly Duxusa. And coming on, number 9, Bradley Lakaseljic.
We're back here for the second half at North Hobart Oval. Some action near touchline during that break. We've got a double substitution for the Hobart Zebras with Dwayne Walsh and Jordan Muller being replaced by Jan Harutza and Benjamin Robinson. So the entire backline's been overhauled there. Bradley Lakaseljic has come on South Hobart, replacing Gilly DeSouza, which I can only assume is injury related because DeSouza was having himself a game, and that raking pass to set up the third for Iski Van Dorn was a particular highlight of the first half. So got to think that's probably injury related. The Zebras may be injury related, but I think probably more tactically. Dave Smith knows he needed to change things in this match, or it was not going to be a pretty end result. And South Hobart leading it 3-1. And look to add to that, so Harutza left out of the starting lineup today, the giant Czech centre back, but he's been injected into the contest to play centre back alongside of Little. Looks like Yonezawa will be pushed back into midfield where he can probably influence things a little bit more. And probably playing the role Muller did in the first half. And then Robinson has come on for Walsh at right back. So we'll see how those changes affect things. And the change of ends too, of course, with wind being a fair factor in this one. Blowing towards the Horry Gorringe stand, right of your screens. Probably in the favoured end for attacking today. Yonezawa back in the midfield, and he lobs this one forward. Farrell took it away. Iski Van Dorn down to Hamlet. Now Morton punching this one out wide for young Lakaseljic, his first involvement. He keeps his feet, importantly, up against Robinson. Looks to go around the outside and then just gets a blatant push in the back. And that was not at all well disguised from Robinson. You can get away with a little nudge on those ones if you just lean in, but when you extend the arm and push like that, you're just asking for trouble. So a free kick, and Nick Morton to take. South Hobart looking to get right back on the attack. And Lakaseljic, first involvement is still in the free kick. Morton. Not sure if that was a shot or not, trying to catch out Sammy Watman, but it lands on the roof of the netting on this occasion. He just mishit it, whether he's trying to bend one in there at the near post. Hamlet making that run. And the sun is now set here. Artificial light will be taking over pretty soon, as the Zebras look to stage a fight back. Raking diagonal from Hay, cut out by Gorry. Forward by Henry Fagg, looks to have moved into left back with maybe Riley Dillon pushing on. Smith has definitely changed things. Here's Sanders holding off the attentions of Farrell. Iski Van Dorn comes in. Sanders is on his knees appealing for the free. He won't get it. And Gorry just clears the area. Sousa. Hay. Chested down by Sanders. Riley Dillon. Falls the way of Iski Van Dorn. Van Dorn will play the 1-2. Plenty of South Hobart bodies jumping up into this attack, although slightly errant pass stopped them doing anything. Matthew Pace dropping back. Sammy Watman along. Dillon brings it down and then works it forward for Sanders. Slides it through. This is a great chance to pull one back. It's shot and it's going to cross the line. It's 3-2. And it's Nicky Edwards who's pulled it back for the Zebras. An early strike in the second half. And we've got a 3-2 game at North Hobart. We said 5-3 when they met at this venue last year, an absolute thriller. Well, we're on track for a similar result here. Good composure from Edwards and just slides it through Kieran Brown. And that'll give them some new life and energy, no doubt about it. The Zebras with a huge early strike. And we've got a real game in prospect now. 3-2. And a lot of ball game left. Van Dorn stretching to try and reach that one. Couldn't quite get there. Told to shimmy back a few yards here is Henry Fagg. Sanders down for Fagg, won't be able to keep that one in play. Luke Farrell forward for the Canadian Van Dorn. Adam Gorey looking to get involved, but Van Dorn carries away. Morton first time to Walter. And look at to Adam Gorey, who threads one through for Alex Walter. Walter sliding in strongly though, it was Yonezawa. Very nicely one there. And the Japanese midfielder, here's Morton, forward for Walter. Just dwells on it. Then knocks it back for Van Dorn. He's got three in the middle to try pick out, but Jaden Hay was the one who he found. Morton back over his head. Lakaseljic won't be able to reach that one. Scored the Lakaseljic captain, Bradley Lakaseljic, the other day against Hobart United. A 3-1 win on Saturday for South. So Zebras playing Monday NPL action. There's going to be a slice of cheese here against Toby Havainen. There he is issued with the ticket. Slightly harsh, I think, to the book. There's the young fullback, so he'll be under pressure in the second half now, Havainen. See if they can get Edwards running at him, and they look to do that immediately by playing the set piece in his direction, but set him too much of a task there. Nicky Edwards, he's got some wheels, but it's a little unreasonable. Here's Hugh Ludford. Morton. Oh, got himself into some trouble here, Morton. Can he work himself out? He can't. Jaden Hay's pounced. He's got Riley Dillon there in support. Jaden Hay cuts it back for Dillon, and just like that, the Zebras are level. Riley Dillon with a tap in. Jaden Hay robbing Nick Morton of the ball and sets his teammate up for the equaliser. And they have exploded in this second half. The Hobart Zebras, Dave Smith pulling the double sub at the break, and it has paid dividends. His team dramatically back on terms. There's Riley Dillon just waiting and waiting. Jaden Hay waited till the last possible moment to play that ball. Just really gave them no chance. It was intelligent play from Jaden Hay, and Dillon took up the attacking spot, and boy, has this game turned. South Hobart were all over him in the first 45. Really causing him all manner of issues, and just like that, the Zebras have gone bang bang. It's 3-all and real shades of round one last year now. That was a 5-3 win for the Zebras on that occasion. 2-all at half time. Some goals early in the second half, and when these two teams meet on this ground, it seems to equal plenty of goals. So Hugh Ludford. South have been shocked here. What a response from the Zebras. What a second half we have in prospect now. Lakaseljic back to Farrell. Hamlin. Trying to get through. Harutza away. Slightly loose header at the back there though. From Oscar Thomas. It's just all looking a little bit shaky for South Hobart in this second half. A few of them have stayed in the change rooms. Zebras Put themselves right back into it. Sure, I said in my preview that both these teams have had trouble taking their chances this season. Well, no such problems today. They've been two pretty clinical sides in attack. As a result, 3-3 after 53. Here's one of those half-time substitutions, Harutsa, to the other one in Robinson. So just overhauled the defence and the midfield. And now it's Ben Hamlet running at Harutsa, who just extends a long leg and shuts that down. Hay laid it off for the clock tower. Like a Seljack. And Morton. Able to just get away. It's like a Seljack. And Matthew Pace takes it away from him, and he takes out his own bench in the process. Tucking for cover down there on the Zebras touchline. Morton. She rolled it off the foot of Pace to buy another throw in. Vainen and some movement. Short to Hamlet. Control it, but it fell out the back for Morton. Morton skips into space. Still going, Morton. Squares it up for Gorry. Plays it through for Walter. Turning. Good block there by Little. Still on the attack. It's volley to the back post. Manufactured a shot that wasn't too far away. Alex Walter, the outside of the boot, was bending back, but just never quite enough. Didn't quite have the whip on it required. Robinson chips it for Pace. Sanders. Back for Jaden Hay. Oh, he's coughed it up to Hamlet. And now Laka Seljack. Can Morton control it? No, he can't. Little just chips it into touch. Dave Smith calling for composure. Throw down the line for Hamlet. Stretches to control. And wins the corner for his side. The foot in from Ben Robinson there. South just looking to reassert themselves in this one. And stunned out of the gates second half here after a really good first 45. Nick Morton to take. Swings it in, Watman comes out, punches away. Race between Dillon and Van Dorn. Van Dorn gets a foot in, then Ludford will just swing it back from whence it came. Wrestling match breaking out there. Like a Seljack did well to nod down. Now Hamlet jumps onto the ball. It's Hamlet from the angle. Did that take a touch off a Zebra? It didn't. So just a goal kick. Nearly angle against him there, Hamlet. Takes something pretty remarkable to score on the left foot from that position. As Watman gets things restarted with a clip on the head of Farrell. Ludford. Gorry. Kieran Brown swings it away. Dillon chips it over the top. It's Matty Sanders. He's lobbed the keeper. Matthew Sanders with a touch of class. And the Hobart Zebras with a 4-3 lead. They have stormed out of the sheds. They've scored 3 goals in 12 minutes. And South Hobart are stunned. This game has done a complete 180. Credit to Dave Smith. He's pulled 2 substitutions, changed the way they've set up, and this new approach is just unlocking him at the back. They were caught completely out. And that is a classy finish from the Colonel. That's what he does best. A 15th goal of the season for Matty Sanders. Just continually finding the back of the net, that man. And his 15th has handed his side the lead. And South, well, 3-1 up at the break, sitting very comfortably. Before we've reached the hour mark, they're now chasing it. It's been a stunning turn of events here at North Hobart. A dramatic game, and one feels there's still plenty more to come. As Iski Van Dorn skips past a couple, centres it for Morton. Morton firing just past the post. As the chances keep flowing. Nick Morton, the ball was just played behind him. It was a great first touch from Morton to set the shot. He couldn't quite bend it back enough. 4-3. you would have seen this coming at half-time. The Hobart Zebras running on strong. Saw them striking hard and striking early in the match against Devonport. Sit back and hold on to a 2-0 lead, winning 2-1. That was 10 minutes at the start. This has been a 10-minute burst of the second half. Hamlet charging down Watman. Throwing will go the Zebra's way. Mouth moment there. Flicked on by Sanders. Yonazawa. Flicked on by Morton. Sanders, Edwards. Now Thomas, but it'll be brought back for a free kick, and just everything seems to be breaking in the Zebras' direction this half. South Hobart, some of those goals, you've got to question the defensive organisation on them. Been cut apart rather easily this second half. Here's Yonazawa. Little. Now Harutsa. Errant pass from the checking machine. So, in the first half it was take the throws quick, take the foot on the throat, keep the pressure going. Now, just looking slightly rattled South. They have to be able to just get their foot on the ball and slow things down a bit. Pace is going to be running afoul of Nathan Code for that challenge, and indeed a slice of cheese for Matty Pace. Nicky Edwards arguing the point. Right in front of the touchline, and things just threatening to boil over. Some colourful language coming from down on the near touchline, let's say. So eventually things will settle down, and it'll be a South Hobart free kick. Matthew Pace receiving the yellow card, nothing more. So Morton to Ludford. South Hobart remarkably are trailing in this one now, entering the final 30. Going to need start getting those combinations going in attack that were so eye-catching in the first half. Long ball. Thomas. Flicked on by Farrell. Iski Van Dorn. Back to Oscar Thomas. Under pressure, he just taps it forward. Tommy Little wins in the air. Farrell. There's Salaka Seljuk, laid it off for Morton, being marked tightly by Jaden Hay. He'll make a bursting run forwards here, but he won't get in behind of Harutsa. Check centre half. These very loud fluorescent wheels of his. Can't miss them. Actually, as the light starts to dim here at North Hobart. Morton. Vainen swings it in over the head of Hamlet and flicked off Little's head, I think. Oh no, it's all off Hamlet, so it's just going to be the goal kick. Dangerous cross this from Vainen. It was Hamlet who got all of it, just not the direction he was seeking. Watman. And Dawn. Now Adam Gorry takes a tumble. Told to get up, and the Zebras are breaking ominously at the other end. It's Riley Dillon sliding it through for Edwards. Hugh Ludford just about dealt with it, and then dealt with Dillon as well. Ooh, fully in control, the whistle blown at the end of it, but they're looking really fragile at the back in this second half, South Hobart. Night and day from the first half, and the threat the Zebras have carried. Ludford to Thomas. And even this, they just don't look overly in control at the back. Gorry unable to keep it in, and they gift the ball back to the opposition. This is an entirely different South Hobart side. They're seeing out there at the moment, their confidence has been rattled by this flurry of Zebras goals. being swept away in the flood at the moment as and Dawn gets in ahead of Sanders and then plays it off him cleverly. Walter treads on the ball and then gifts it to Nikki Edwards. Edwards skips back around Walter. Rips it off for Jaden Hay. Hay spies the run of Robinson. The big defender. Just didn't quite get his feet right. He might get another crack at it. The ball infuriatingly staying in from a South Hobart perspective. And Robinson did pretty well in the end. Worked it to Jaden Hay. Hay controlled. Played it to Riley Dillon at the top of the box. Riley Dillon on the turn off the post. Rebound, Sanders offside. The flag went up immediately on the Colonel to deny them a fifth. As Jaden Hay found Dillon. Have a look on the replay at Sanders' positioning. Ooh. Geez, you need a freeze frame, but that is tight. I get the impression that first look he might have timed it all right, but probably need the freeze frame on that one. Either way, the linesman flag denies Sanders the fifth, and within 4 in 20 minutes. All the Hobart Zebras surging, and every time they go forwards at the moment, South Hobart look like conceding. They just can't handle them. They are red hot right now. The Zebras in South Hobart, they need a bit of play up this end of the pitch. Edwards concedes the corner. Need to find a way. Get back into this one. A game that they seemingly had control of at the half. So the Morthog goes to the back post and it's volleyed home, and South Hobart strike now. And is it Loic Farrell who's got the final touch? 100%. I think it is the Frenchman who's buried that one from close range. South Hobart score again. It's 4-4, and the goal fest continues here at North Hobart. Over everyone's head, and it is Loic Farrell. He's it off the arm. I'm not sure you can call that one. It's 4-4. And South Hobart strike back. What a game this is. Seemingly every time a team attacks, they score right now. We've had 8 goals. I'm not getting the impression that either of these teams are done just yet. So they've matched the 8 goals from the last time they played at North Hobart. Can we go further, and can someone win this game? South Hobart needed that. All the momentum was flowing one way. They were really under the pump, but they pull a goal back. They get back on terms, and now they might just be mentally a little bit more switched on and slightly more positive attitude as Adam Gorry's got him behind, and they're a big chance here for another one. South Hobart. It's Gorry trying to find Hamlet, played it behind him. Morton will get there. Still the attack goes and put behind by Robinson for the corner. South Hobart snapping back into action now. Not wanting this one to slip away from them. Pure chaos here at the football this afternoon. An absolute goal fest at North Hobart as Nick Morton sends it in near post. Yonezawa was there to defend it. It didn't go out. Play allowed to continue, and Morton sees that one ricochet back off himself, so he won't get a corner. Everyone seemingly stopped here thinking the ball had gone out of play, and probably because it had. And it took a massive leg break back into the field of play. In the end, a goal kick. Watman going along. Ludford heads down. Flicked on by Laka Seljuk. Morton helping it forwards, but Harutsa smashed the volley and seems to have paid a bit of a physical toll for it. He's still down. Loic Farrell. Morton outside of the boot looking for Walter. Away from him by Robinson. And pace helps it on. Walter. Here's Edwards. Went for Henry Fagg. Swinging it down the line. It's a great ball. Riley Dillon's in behind. He's got Sanders in the middle. It's Matty Sanders. Great sliding block. Toby Havainen came across and saved a certain goal. Keeps the scores locked at 4. And that was a vital intervention from the young left back. Getting across to the other side to execute that one. Riley Dillon got in behind again. He's loomed large over this second half. Corner belted in again. Brown gets 2 fists to it. They're going to get another crack at it though, the Zebras. And a real feature of both the games in this doubleheader. In swinging corners, a body in front of the keeper and just really trying to pressure them, make it difficult for men between the sticks. Again, Dillon curls it in. Iski Van Dorn heads it to Morton and he'll clear the area. Yonezawa, the only player back there. Here's Watman. 20 minutes left here at North Hobart. 4-4 the score. It's been an absolute epic. 4 goals in each half. And still a decent chunk of time left to play. South Hobart looking to reclaim the lead. Morton to Van Dorn to Gorry. Great little flick pass. Straight in to get there was Fagg. Worked it back in towards Hamlet. Vital intervention. Tommy Little from the ground. Hamlet trying to win it back, but he infringes. Nice bit of work from Adam Gorry in Hamlet as he tried to win the ball. A little backwards kick lying on the ground. Just caught a little bit of the man instead as Matthew Pace into the touchline, but it looks like it's going to be a South Hobart substitution. Casper Hallam looks like he's going to enter the fray. The one who scored against Hobart United, scoring the opening goal on Saturday. We'll see who he replaces. It's a rather limping Alex Walter, who'd probably be the likely candidate. He's hobbling off here on this near side. Some tension from the trainer at the moment. And it looks like that will be the end of Alex Walter's day. Walter makes way, and Hallam, can he make himself the match winner here today?
Coming on, number 17, Casper Hallam.
Alex Walter, the man making way there. Here's Watman. Pace turned into trouble, straight into Hallam. Bounced off him. Karutza. To Tommy Little. Ziski Van Dorn skipping it free and working the touchline. Swings the ball in. Hallam will have to attack it. Away by Pace. Like a Seljuk. Combining with Farrell and then couldn't quite find Morton. Van Dorn will chase this, but in vain. Sammy Watman always favoured to win that one. Riley Dillon out ahead of Gorry. Down to Yonezawa. Yonezawa has the through ball, but it's Hugh Ludford well ahead of Dillon. Away by Yonezawa again. 20 minutes probably left when you consider the added time. Who has got that little bit extra to give here as we sprint towards the finish line? The Zebras have been outstanding in this second half. They've come all the way back. Found the lead, only to be pegged back once again. Is there a late sting still to come? Here's Nicky Edwards trying to bring it under his spell. Like a Seljuk got in there, and so too like Farrell. Casper Hallam Just rather push there by Nicky Edwards. Van Dorn, sorry. The other blonde mop. He's like a Seljuk. Hallam the target of this one. Straight down the throat of Sammy Watman. Watman driving this one. Low one into the path. Ludford. Farrell steps in. Hay to Sanders. Swinging it first time to an offside Riley Dillon. Who sets the flag, but probably technically made a play to go towards the ball before then. So Brown will take over as we head towards the final 15. Right. Dying here at North Hobart. Official light taking over. This game very much live and kicking as we head in to crunch time. Here's Adam Gorry. He looks up, doesn't see too many aerial targets with Hamlet and Hallam. Not exactly tall statures, like a Seljuk lashing it from distance, but Watman always seeing that one wide. It looked like working it back on target. Watman goes looking for Sanders. Farrell, as he has all day, just working back in front of him, trying to bracket the Colonel. Wins that challenge. High arm there from Sanders. Play allowed to continue. And over the top looking for Hallam. Harutza across to deal with that one. He tried to sneak in between of Havainen and Morton. Couldn't do so. Morton, that was behind him, invites Nicky Edwards, swings it out to Riley Dillon, one-on-one with Oscar Thomas. It's Riley Dillon. He's got Edwards making a bursting run. Dillon goes himself. And wasn't far away either there. Riley Dillon firing this one. And it's a sharp piece of goalkeeping from Kieran Brown to just palm that one over. Just got a fingertip to it. The Zebras looking for a fifth. And it all opened up there for them. Riley Dillon. It's Nicky Edwards, swings it in. Harutza over his head, steered on goal and saved by Brown. Oh, Tommy Lill just didn't get enough on it in the end. And South Hobart look to quickly turn defence into attack. Morton swings it across to Gorry. Adam Gorry carrying it forwards. Zebras strain to get back. Casper Hallam won't quite be able to track down the diagonal from Gorry. Comes to nothing. The pitch getting stretched a little here. I think we can expect to see that in the final 15 minutes. Some tiring bodies. A long pitch of KG5. Watman blasting it long again to Sanders. Havainen. Farrell. Controlling. Working it back centrally. Hamlet. And in behind Laka Seljuk. Ludford. Farrell. Now Havainen. Swings it over the top for Hallam to chase, but Harutza comfortably dealing with that. The big check. Easy as you like. The other side of the pillow there. Just escorting that one out. It's Hugh Ludford wanting a free kick. We've got a goal kick. Practically the same thing. Little push and making sure it was seen there, Huey. I'd argue you'd rather a goal kick than a free kick in that spot anyway. It's Farrell, goes back to his keeper. Kieran Brown, pressured by Edwards. He's just still buzzing about the pitch. Flying into everything, Nicky Edwards. A bundle of energy, but South Hobart looking to break here through Morton. He's got Van Dorn. He plays him in there, lining up. It's a 3-on-2 here. Van Dorn works it back to the spare man, Hallam, whose touch took him back inside. Straight into the defender. And a chance goes begging there. Hallam trying to remedy the situation. Morton couldn't combine him, and now the counter back the other way from the Zebras. In the middle, it's Edwards. Swings it out to Riley Dillon. Dillon looks up. Sees a 4-on-5 developing and has a run. Dillon Danicky Edwards with some room. Edwards pulling the trigger. Never had the power to beat Kieran Brown there, and he quickly swings it back into play. South Hobart now. This game opening up a little. Really being stretched. Van Dorn to Gorry. Back to Iski. Van Dorn left it behind the Canadian. He'll win the throw in. Only just, and some action on the Zebras touchline. That's Adam McEwen who's going to come on. So they clearly want the 3 points here. 1 point no good really for either of them. And it's going to be like for like. So McEwen on for Matthew Sanders. They'll hope that Adam McEwen can have a little bit of magic in his locker like he did the last time he set foot on this pitch. As he just lobbed one over his own shoulder and volleyed into the bottom corner. Slight controversial moment in that one, of course, in the build-up. I'm sure there's still a few people talking about that one. It was quite the discussion point out of the game. But no doubting the quality of McEwen's finish. If there was a foul in the build-up, it was a stunning goal. As Morton works this one down to Hamlet. Hamlet volleys it over. That'll be a goal kick. To the final 10. There's some tired-looking players out there right now. Pace is waning a little. Long again from Wortman over the head. Edwards, Yonezawa can keep it in, trying to find Dylan, who's been playing as a pure winger in this half after that formation shuffle in the first. Then Dawn. Sloppy couldn't keep it in, the former Zebra. So this one worked out to Casper. Hallam did really well to get around Robinson. Still going Hallam, weaving around Zebra's defenders. Coughed the ball up eventually, but real flair there from Hallam, the substitute. And South still pushing here. Laka Seljack. Can they work it out to the right-hand side where Gorry's got room to work into? They do so now. He punches in towards Morton. Hamlet! 5-4 South Hobart. Benny Hamlet pounces and prods home what could be a match winner. Still plenty of time left in this one, but it's hammer time. Hamlet striking again, and South Hobart wrestling back control of the game. 5-4 the score.
For South Hobart, number 11, Ben Hamlet. Triple score, South Hobart 5.
Well, it's Ben Hamlet who's restored South's lead. Of course, they led this one 3-1 earlier on, only to see themselves then trailing 4-3. And now it's swung back again. And of course, they were down 1-0 initially, let's not forget. It has been a game of swings and roundabouts, this one. A seesawing affair, if ever. There was one in the NPL Tas, and South Hobart 5-3 the lead. Benjamin Hamlet striking again. What a game we've had here this afternoon. A cracking Anzac Day clash, and it's not done yet. Here's Casper Hallam trying to skip in behind. The Zebras defence shutting that one down. And shipped it forward. And Hamlet grabbing second of the day. Could it be the decisive moment? Van Dorn plays it forward. Watman. The Zebras need to push here. Smash that one low. It was a worm burner straight to Iski Van Dorn. And Van Dorn is going to have a run and try and take on Yonezawa. Not many have succeeded when they've tried to do that today, mind you. And he might get in trouble for kicking the ball away here, Iski Van Dorn. And he has. I can see a yellow ticket about to be issued, and there it is. So a slice of cheese for Van Dorn. And you can question it, but it's just a dumb one, really. If you're going to earn it, at least put it out at the stadium or something. Don't just tap it 5 metres away, lad. There's 6 minutes left. Farrell heads it forward for Hamlet. Hamlet then nods it past Horutzer, and he's off to the races here. Hammer time, Hamlet. Could he seal a hat-trick? Hamlet weaving one way. Squares it for Morton. Morton shapes onto the right, and Yonezawa whisked it away from him in the nick of time. Iski Van Dorn now. Checks back. Adam Gorry. Driving at them, Adam Gorry. Nick Morton sliding in, and he'll work back here, Morton. Well done, Tommy Little. Wasn't biting. Shut down, though, by Van Dorn. He ran straight into trouble, Tommy Little. Does he extricate himself? No, he's lost it again. Van Dorn still soldiering on. Henry Fagg comes away, and he might be the man to clear the danger. Finally, they see it out. But South will get the throw in. And with just 5 minutes left in regulation, they're quite comfortable with the ball at this end of the pitch. Morton. Back to Gorry. Adam Gorry. Hamlet. And Hamlet skips around of Little and then swings across in looking for Hallam over his head. Lakaseljic arriving away from him by pace. Falls eventually for Morton. Took it away from Hay. Gave it to Havainen. He heads towards the corner, then knocks it back for Morton. Morton just drifts towards that corner flag. Time wasting has begun from South Hobart. He's been dispossessed by Jaden Hay, a forceful challenge, and he won it well, Jaden Hay. Matty Pace clears the area. Nodded back by Ludford. Ooh, Lakaseljic copping one from Yonezawa after he got rid of the ball. And a free kick, which will just enable South to wipe a few more seconds off the clock. Havainen over to Morton. He won the throw in. Run in to Morton. Brings it under his spells. Lies it through for Hallam. Back to Morton. This will sit for him, or it might sit for Lakaseljic. He tried to put the foot through it, but just lifted the head there a little, I think, Lakaseljic. And not the contact he was looking for. And the Zebras have cuffed it up again here. Little had his pocket picked by Ben Hamlet. He's been a big figure today. Couldn't get around Little second time though, and then Little tried to take on Hamlet, and it'll be a goal kick. Time is running out for the Zebras. And volleyed out of there by Farrell. It's going to come straight back down to where he hit it from though. Now Nicky Edwards tries to volley it up for himself. Farrell working back, wins 2 defensive headers. And forward by Yonezawa. Good ball to Riley Dillon. Looks to take on Adam Gorry. It's Riley Dillon on the left, bending it back. Back stick. 4-4. Matthew Pace nods it back to Hay. That allowed Morton in though. And the Morthog just smashed it up the other end of the field. Hamlet competed well against Horutzer. The numbers went out, although Little's coughed it straight up to Morton. He threads it through for Hallam. Does he go at the goals or corner flag? He's going to take him on. Squaring ball. Again, it might fall for Lakaseljic. Works it through for Iski Van Dorn. Couldn't finish it off as he did late in the first half. This one sailing over the top. And 2 minutes left of regulation for the Zebras. Nodded by Lakaseljic. Jaden Hay chasing it down, but Van Dorn got there. Credit to South Hobart for the way they've reasserted themselves in this one after Seeing those goals fly past them in pretty quick succession. They're suddenly trailing 4-3. Many teams would have turned to water at that point, but they've fought back and they might just have done enough for a crucial 3 points. A foul on Morton blown though. He can't quite believe it. He'll have deep discussions with the AR about that one. He's a little bit miffed. There's the Warthog. He felt he might have been caught. Seems to be saying he caught me in the face. We'll have a look at the replay. Obvious on the replay. As now Nicky Edwards has talked himself into the book in live action, which is a fair feat considering they're the ones with the attacking free kick. And meanwhile Morton's gone down. Yeah, maybe a bit of clarity. He just gets slightly caught by the outstretched elbow of Edwards. As if contact wasn't overly apparent on that replay, but seems to be a bit of claret drawn from the Warthog. 4 minutes of added time is going to be signalled here in a second. Might have to just up that to 5. Morton's still on the ground getting treatment here. So, a second North Hobart Classic with a nose injury from an elbow at that end of the field, not called in as many games this season. Tell you what, they score from this. Talk about following up the narrative. So they've now added a 5th minute in lieu of Morton eating up another minute there. So 5 minutes to play. The Zebras trying to equalise. To the back post, they swing it over the head of pace. Laka Seljuk got there first, played it forward for Van Dorn, out ahead of him. Yonezawa swinging it back into the mixer. Thomas was felled and a free kick blown in favour of South. Staying down is Henry Fagg. He'll get back to his feet here. Morton's still down on this near touchline, receiving some treatment. And Hobart still playing a man down for the time being, so good opportunity for the Zebras here. Morton's not going to get back on the pitch in the next minute or so. Switching him, although they might have made their 3 subs. Here's Rutza. Charged down by Hamlet. Second time of asking. Sees it away from him. That's going to stay in. Edwards up against Havine, just backed into him nicely there. Nicky Edwards shielded it well. Chipped it up over the top looking for pace. Ludford with an unconvincing clearance. Almost let Edwards in. Laka Seljuk. It's all hands on deck at the back end. Ludford's just been put down off the ball by Edwards. Well, hang on. I think he's in trouble here. I think he's going to have a word with his AR. So, Nicky Edwards just earned himself a yellow card. I can't see how he's not going to at least get a yellow card for that, and I reckon that's the end of his day. We'll see what the assistant has to say, but it was well off the ball. Seemed to be a pushing match breaking out between Edwards and Ludford, and Edwards was the man who ended it, despite the disparity in stature. And Nathan Code is going to wander over to him, and Edwards knows exactly what's coming. The slice of tomato, a second yellow card. That ends his day. As Nick Morton prepares to come back on the pitch, it will be 11 v 10 once again, but in favour of South. So a red card for Nicky Edwards. As they're taking the long route off here. So Kieran Brown, a red card. In stoppage time, as if the 9 goals weren't drama enough here. And Brown, you fancy he's just going to smack this one for the far corner. That's where they're all pointing. And that is where he heads. Hamlet to compete against Harutza. Bit of a mismatch there. Harutza won it down and might spill out the back for Casper Hallam. Hallam gets on it. Tries to go past Robinson, turning inside, just lost control of the football. Hamlet comes in support. Spills to Ottman, and he needs to get things moving for the 10 men of the Zebras here. They've run a very good race. It might not quite be enough. Might be a Malungala type of race. Just agonisingly short. Those who tuned into the halftime sprint, Jonathan Malungala snapping the hamstring after 90 metres of the 100. That's when the drama really began today. And this one, boy, it's had it all. And it's looking like being a famous South Hobart victory. We're on the receiving end back in round 1 last year. A 5-3 loss in a thriller here. A shootout at North Hobart. We've had it again today. They're on the right side of the ledger as far as they're concerned now. Unless these 10 men can strike late. Oh, Wayne, and it wasn't convincing, but he gets past his former Lions teammate Robinson, then swings it out in the path of Hamlet. Beaten to it by Watman. He steers it out of play. And with 94:20 on the clock and a pending South Hobart substitution, one thinks there might not be a long left. And that will be one last attacking opportunity. So South Hobart bringing young Samuel Berezanski on. And making way for him is Ben Hamlet. So labouring his way over to the bench here is Ben Hamlet in no rush at all. He might just be the hero. The second goal seems to have secured the 3 points for South, barring the latest of drama. It's at the wrong end of the pitch as far as the Hobart Zebras are concerned. It's going to stay down there. Another throw in. Whiskey Van Dorn won't be in any rush to take. They'll just try and keep it in the corner here. Casper Hallam spills out. Now Tommy Little. He's surrounded by red shirts here. It's going to be tough to work it forward. Good sliding challenge from Whiskey Van Dorn. We've travelled close to 96. There have been a couple of stoppages into stoppage time, so that's why we're still going, but the final whistle mustn't be far away. This has got to be last chance saloon stuff here for the Zebras. They work it forward. Berezanski cuts it out. And it's volleyed forward again. Harutza back there for the Zebs. Off the head of Van Dorn. Pace. Oh, nodded it straight to a South Hobart player, Laka Seljuk. I don't think Hallam's held his run. The flag's going to be raised on him. It is, but they need to go now. This is it for the Zebras. Jaden Hayes senses that. Swings it out wide for Riley Dillon. Stone Cold brings it down. Turns inside. It's a great foot in from Van Dorn. We'll just hold them up again. To the top of the box. It's under hit. It's away. It's surely got to be the final whistle here. And there it is. Nathan Coe brings an end to an absolute thriller here at North Hobart. One of the games of the season. South Hobart twice rally back. They trailed 1-0, went up 3-1, trailed 4-3, and ultimately win 5-4. It was a cracking day of football here. A fantastic match and a huge 3 points for South Hobart. They skip up 3 clear of the Zebras on to 19. We have a look at the second half goals. They came with a flurry at the start. Nicky Edwards stroking that one home and said thank you very much. They started the comeback 3-2. Moments later, they were back on terms. Jaden Hay, the fake cross, just fooling them all. Really, really tidy stuff. Keep had to wait till the latest possible moment to react. So a tap in to Stone Cold. At that point, the Zebras were flying. It was 3-3. And it got better still. Dillon chipping it over the top for Sanders. He spied Kieran Brown in no man's land. Lobbed it over his head. Suddenly, it was 4-3. And the remarkable turnaround was on. The Zebras were flying. But South Hobart, being the team that they are, were to respond. And Nick Morton found Loic Farrell from the corner. And that one, not the tidiest finish you'll ever see. Bundled home. But they all count. They made it 4-4. And then Ben Hamlet, who had a fantastic day today, was able to get on the end of that. Some great work from Morton. Hamlet steers home, and South would hold from there. So they jump up to 19 points. Olympia will end the day as the ladder leaders. Devonport to play City could change that on Saturday. But from Slice of Cheese and Boyle Stream here at North Hobart, we bid you adieu from what was an absolute classic, one that will live long in the memories. But South Hobart walk away with a 5-4 win. Olympia downing Glenorchy Knights 3-1. We hope you've enjoyed this double header here, this footballing feast on Anzac Day. And we'll be back on Saturday with the Women's Super League. Hobart Zebras visiting the Olympia Warriors at Warrior Park at top of the table. Showdown the Super League. Do join us for that. But from North Hobart, for an absolute classic, the curse of Jono is no more, and South Hobart are the victors.